All right, so now we are moving more into the trig part of it. So we have to remember our SOHCAHTOA. We're still solving for triangles, but now we're going to actually use the trig. So the most important thing is on your calculator, you have to make sure you are in degree mode. Okay, so there is a mode button on your calculator. You need to be in degree mode. If you are in radian mode, move the cursor over and make sure the word degree is highlighted. If you have a scientific, let's say, I think it's DRG or D for degree, just make sure you're in degree mode, because if you are in radian mode, you will still be getting numbers. You just won't know that they are incorrect. So again, please make sure anytime you are doing trig now moving forward with math, make sure you are in degree mode for this. It does not affect any other course. It only affects the trigonometry that we're doing right now. All right, so we're going to use trig functions to find the value of x. So what we do is we say, okay, well, looking here, here's my angle, 41. Let's label what we have. Well, here's the 4. That's across from it, so that's opposite. The x is next to it, but also AB is next to it. But AB is my hypotenuse, which means that x has to be my adjacent side. So now you ask yourself, okay, based on what I have opposite and I have adjacent. Thinking SOHCAHTOA, those are the only 3 you have, SOHCAHTOA. Which one is it? Well, with opposite and adjacent, that's tangent. So we're going to set up a ratio. So I have the tangent of 41 degrees. You take the tangent of the angle equals opposite over adjacent. So 4 over x. Now what you're going to do is make it a proportion. So the tangent of 41 goes over x, and we cross multiply. So we get x times the tangent of 41 equals 4, and we are solving for x here, which means we have to divide both sides by the tangent of 41. So again, please make sure you are in degree mode. These are all going to be decimals, I would anticipate. Round to 2 places, and you get about 4.60 for your answer for that one. So again, we are only focusing on the sine, the cosine, and the tangent, but you have to be able to identify which one that it actually is. All right, let's look at the B here. So here's our angle. Well, what do we have? X is across from it, so that's opposite. 5 is next to it, but so is AB, but AB is the hypotenuse, so that means 5 is adjacent. So we still have O and we still have A, so that's tangent. So we have the tangent of 50.1 equals opposite x over adjacent 5. We're going to make a proportion, cross multiply. Now, when you put stuff in the calculator, you never put 2 numbers next to each other, which means you would not type the tangent of 50.1 times 5. You want to put this 5 in front. So it's 5 times the tangent of 50.1, because it's going to interpret it differently. So never put 2 numbers together when you're typing them into the calculator with trig. So if you do 5 times the tangent of 50.1, you get about 5.98. All right, C, here's our angle. Well, we are across from it for x, so that's opposite, and then 10.3, that is your hypotenuse. So if we have an opposite and a hypotenuse, now that puts us at sine. So the sine of 37 equals opposite over hypotenuse, so that's x over 10.3. Put the sine of 37 over 1, cross multiply. So x, again, never 2 numbers next to each other, 10.3 times the sine of 37, and you should get about 6.20 for that one. All right, last one. We have x, which is our hypotenuse, and 11, which is our adjacent. Well, if we have hypotenuse and adjacent, that is cosine. So we have cosine of 37 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Make a proportion, cross multiply, so you get x times the cosine of 37 equals 11, but in this case, we have to divide by the cosine of 37. Instead of multiplying, we're dividing, and when you divide, you should get somewhere around 13.77 for your final answer for that.